Today we're talking about the new for 2022 Hoth AT-ST walker.
AT-ST.
What?
AT-ST.
Are you doing like some people say AT-AT, but you're saying AT-ST?
That's how we all say it.
I guarantee you nobody says that.
Between the two of us, who actually served in the Empire?
Let's not have that argument again. Hello all, I'm Josh, this is Josh. Build stuff and the enthusiasm you see before you is artificial. Today we're talking about the LEGO Star Wars Hoth AT-ST set. This one just came out at the beginning of the year in 2022, contains 586 pieces and costs $50 here in the US. This set comes in Imperial Walker, neither a Christopher nor a Texas Ranger, but it is sufficient to get the job done. It comes with an Imperial Probe Droid and 3 minifigures who are also sufficient for this set. Can I give you a peek behind the curtain for how I make my videos very briefly? Usually the sets that I talk about in a video, they fall into one of 3 categories. Either it's a set that I'm genuinely excited about and I care about it. In those videos, I tend to make fewer jokes and I talk more about the set itself because, like I said, I'm very excited about that set. The second category of sets are those that are weird or unique, or they lend themselves really well to a specific bit that I'd like to really lean into, like the tiger video we just did, which has very certain assets that we could really lean into. I don't want to lean into that one, but like I can make that video like a whole joke about something dumb. The third category of sets are ones like this one that I have before me today, because it's not interesting enough or not something I care enough about that I want to talk enthusiastically about the details and play features of this set by itself, and it's not unique or cool or lends itself to like some interesting bit that I could come up with that would make this video more interesting than literally breaking this fourth wall and like being meta and telling you like why I don't like this set very much. All this to say that I am not very enthused by this AT-ST walker. I didn't see anything unique or new or cool or different about it. At least I didn't think so, but we'll talk more about that in a second. So forgive my apparent lack of energy or my apparent manufactured energy. It is like 9 something at night. I'm literally drinking an energy drink here to try to pep myself up. And yet the best bit I could come up with so far was AT-ST at the beginning of this video, so clearly we are not off to a great start. But I actually did have a minor change of heart midway through preparation for this video, and I'd love to share that change of heart with you after we talk about the build for this set. The build for this set was boring. It was gray on gray on gray with a side of dark tan just to change things up a bit. The legs of this walker are made entirely out of Technic, so you won't like it if you don't like that part of the thing. Otherwise, the entire build felt very familiar to other walkers that I'd built in the past. It was uninspired, I was unsurprised, and did I mention that the legs are made out of Technic? That's a feature worth mentioning twice, apparently. The build was boring. Look, I don't usually consider myself a journalist of the investigative nature, and, well, that remains the case today. I still don't think of myself like that, but when I read the title of this set, Hoth AT-ST, I got to thinking, do AT-STs actually appear on Hoth, specifically in the opening sequence of Empire Strikes Back? So I did the research and I watched the beginning of Empire Strikes Back. Turns out they do appear there in a total of 2 shots, and it looks like it could be like the same reused stop motion of the AT-ST walking across the snowy landscape. But keep in mind, I was watching on Disney Plus, and so for all I know, I could have been watching a remaster of a remaster of a remaster with a bunch of McClunkies thrown in there, and so the original cuts of The Empire Strikes Back may not have included AT-STs on Hoth. However, the newest version does. So now that we know this set is canonical, Pachelbel's canonical. We know this set is canonical to the Star Wars series. Let's talk about some of the details of this thing. There aren't really many details to talk about when it comes to this set. It's got Technic legs, which we mentioned before. It's got actually detailed like brick-built feet. We've got some like printed, stickered feet in the past. I like this version better. Otherwise, like the aesthetics are kind of, I guess, a feature of it. A play feature is that you get this wheel in the back which spins the head, which we've seen in AT-STs before, but it's still a nice play feature. We also get some push buttons back here that will fire the missiles that are sticking out of this thing's face. Those work well enough. Ouch. Didn't really hurt. It's called acting. Travis Slattery, I'm an actor. The top opens up. You got a hatch in there. You can fit a single minifigure. It is a tight squeeze, but there is a nice place to stick his binoculars in his blaster. I always like when Lego throws in that little thing. Otherwise, that's it. It looks nice. It doesn't really walk. It doesn't really articulate. You can bend the legs backwards, but then he won't stand up. So mostly he's going to pose just like that. We also get a probe droid whose inclusion I appreciate because he also spent some time on Hoth, though his fate did not end well as far as I remember. The minifigures included in this set are also nice. I specifically like this snow-covered Chewbacca. I don't know if we've gotten him in the past, but I like him. At first I was like, oh man, there's like a bunch of dust on my Chewbacca, and then I tried to brush it off, and then I felt like a fool, and then I was happy because I like that version of Chewbacca. We get a female Rebel Hoth person, and then a male, typical male AT-ST driver. Not Adam, just like a dude who's a driver. He looks cool. I don't know if any of those dudes are unique or not, but I appreciate their inclusion. For 50 bucks, 3 minifigures and a probe droid. Doesn't get much better than that, unless it was 4 minifigures or 2 probe droids or any combination. You know what, you get what I'm doing. I was prepared to walk into this review today, if you could still call it that, and say that this set was very boring. I even had like a sleep bit planned. We decided to scrap that in the end, but I was going to say this set is boring because we've seen it before in previous versions of this same set. And then I did something that I don't usually do before making these videos. I did a little bit of research and I actually looked up older AT-ST sets, and I realized that we actually don't have that many nice looking AT-ST builds. What I'm thinking of is just like the last several years, when there have actually been a couple while I've been following Star Wars. There's this one, of course, that we just got. There's the one from Rogue One, which is the most similar to this one, and I have that one as well. There's like the Raider version from The Mandalorian, which obviously looks a little different. And then there's the Abomination from, based on the episode 8 one where BB-8's piloting. It's not even, we shouldn't even compare that one in AT-STs because that one looks abominable. But the realization I came to upon doing that research was that, like, besides the Rogue One version, this is honestly maybe the most accurate AT-ST that we've gotten, aside from like the UCS version, which I'm not counting for comparison's sake here. But like this, what we end up with here is like the quintessential AT-ST walker from Star Wars. It's a nice scale. It's got the features that we could want. It looks actually pretty good, considering everything we've gotten so far. And so I was about to say, don't buy this one if you have any of the previous versions because it's the same old thing, but I realized I am biased because I happen to have bought the last couple, and the only one that's really comparable to this is the Rogue One version, and in my opinion, this one is slightly superior. It's got some of the same features, but honestly, I like the legs in this one a little better. It's not as articulate as one would consider, but you know, neither was I growing up, and I still got through grade school just fine. So yeah, if you're considering picking this set up, go ahead and do so. Unless you're like me and you think that $50 price tag is a little too high. This should be like a $40 set for like what you get at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day too, while we're at it. This set should be a little bit cheaper. If you really like Star Wars, like I do, sure, go ahead and pick it up. But if you have like the Rogue One version, then you're about covered there. Also, did I have a second thought just now when I was saying if you really like Star Wars like I do? Look, I do obviously really like Star Wars. It's usually like the first thing I'll pick up on release days and the first things I'll build and the first things I'll review. Clearly, we haven't done that from the January 1st wave. It was a little underwhelming and I'm not that excited about all of these sets. Maybe again, it's just me and I'm tired and I haven't had enough of the energy drink that I am currently sipping on. But like it's not the greatest Star Wars set. Then again, we just got the UCS AT-AT, so who am I to complain about this whole situation? Clearly, I'm a big spoiled baby man. That being said, let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below. I am genuinely curious. I'm going to leave a pinned comment in the comments down below saying, let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below, because I want to know what the rest of like the Star Wars and Lego community in general think about this set. I don't watch like other reviews and stuff to like hear the general opinion of the masses, but like, do people like this? Like, I didn't think I do, but I think in hindsight that I actually do, Technic legs and all, but I like Technic. So let me know what you think about this set, and while you're down there in the comments down below, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And hey, if you're watching these videos in real time, like as they come out, first of all, thank you, but we're still running through our January 1st, 2022 sets here and reviewing them one by one. So far, we've done Lego City, we've done Lego Ideas, we did a Lego Creator set in the form of a tiger, and now we've done a little bit of Star Wars. I think next we're gonna hit some Technic, and then probably a Marvel set, and then it's a free-for-all for the remainder of the 2022 sets. If you do have an opinion about what you would like to see, leave a comment down below early. Maybe that'll be the next thing that I review. Again, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.